Hey guys, my name is Angelo, and I'm just going to be talking about the government concepts and misconceptions. So, to start off, I'm going to be talking about freedom of religion, and a common misconception is that people sometimes think freedom of religion means like freedom from all religious influence, but like specifically in schools. But like students can pray voluntarily and like have Christian clubs and stuff like that, but the government just can't promote it. Some people think you can also do anything in the name of religion, but at the same time, laws do still apply. So, meaning like harming others and saying it's like a part of your religion doesn't really work out. But the correct concept of freedom of religion is you can practice any religion or none at all without government interference. Next is going to be freedom of speech. Some common misconceptions is that people think you can just say whatever you want without any consequences, but there's still laws in place against harassment or threats that may apply. Um, but the correct concept about freedom of speech is you can express your ideas, even some that people don't agree with, but there are limits to protect others' safety and rights. The freedom of the press. The press can report news and opinions without government censorship. People often think that the press can report anything without any legal consequences, but defamation laws do still exist. Some things that people might not know are that freedom of the press apply to all types of media and not just newspapers, and the government can't suppress information just because it's unpopular. Next is going to be search and seizure. The correct concept is police need probable cause or a warrant to search your property or take your belongings. Sometimes people think the police always need a warrant, but that's not always the case. There's some exceptions. Warrantless searches are allowed in certain situations like emergencies or if evidence is just in plain sight. And consent searches happen when you agree, even without a warrant, but you can legally refuse. Due process of law. What this means is that the government must follow fair procedures before depriving someone of life, liberty, or property. Just some rights. A common misconception is some think due process only matters in criminal cases, but it also protects civil rights. Due process applies to both criminal and civil cases. There are two types: procedural, which is fair steps, and substantive, which is law themselves must be fair. The Ninth Amendment. People have rights beyond those listed in the Constitution. Some people think that if it isn't a right or if it's not in the Constitution, it doesn't exist, but the Ninth Amendment does say otherwise. Some things people might not know are that this amendment protects unenumerated rights, meaning not every right is explicitly written down, and it has been used to support privacy and personal freedoms not listed elsewhere. Some common misconceptions is that like the government can freely limit unlisted rights. Actually, they're still protected. The 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment is basically saying that powers not given to the federal government belong to the states or to the people. But some think that the federal government can override state laws anytime they want. And it can't if the Constitution doesn't give it that power. Others assume states can do anything. State laws can't violate the Constitution or federal law though. States can make laws on education, local safety, and elections unless the federal government has power. This amendment helps balance federal and state authority. Equal protection. The government must treat people equally under the law without unfair discrimination. Many people think that equal protection means everyone must be treated exactly, which always isn't true. Some assume it applies to only race or gender, but actually it covers many categories like age, disability, and national origin. Equal protection applies to all levels, federal, state, and local government, and it doesn't always mean identical treatment. Sometimes laws can treat groups differently to fix past inequalities. Affirmative action. Discrimination. Treating someone unfairly because of characteristics like race, gender, religion, or disability is illegal in many situations. People often think discrimination laws only apply to public spaces, but private businesses have to comply too. Some assume discrimination laws cover every single unfair treatment, but not all unfair treatment is illegal. There must be a protected characteristic involved. Discrimination isn't just about outright hostility. It can be subtle, like unequal access to services or jobs. Anti-discrimination laws also protect employees and customers, not just citizens in general.